face an AFC showdown with Pittsburgh in town to face Kansas City. The Steelers lead the series 23-12. Can they make it 24? Find out next.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Now returning it, Antonio Callaway. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
And maybe shades in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And, Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. And they've watched the tape all week. They've seen it, but what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get him uncomfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages, blitz sometimes, drop back other times.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Steelers are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Callaway, the return man. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this one is incomplete. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about...
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Devin Bush drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Greg Stroman back deep waiting for it. Take it at the 37. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
From the 31, Mahomes. He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. This is taken at the 18. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
53, check 53.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And, Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. On the give, this is Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was the rookie, Najee Harris, who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Jerick McKinnon now to return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out come the Chiefs now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're in.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, that's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Steeler touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. Callaway, the return man. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they just had that pick-6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's complete. It's Cornell Powell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is brought in at the 21. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but it's brought down after a huge... They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to add on to their first half lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And that makes this 35-0 now. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Callaway, the return man. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the 45 on 2nd down, Mahomes. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Butker's kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point, and we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
124 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the first round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3. Ball on the 7.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead will swell by one more. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Callaway, the return man. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. To try again after the sack, Mahomes. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding Edwards-Helaire once again. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man, Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And running with power here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Harris stays on his feet. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, 29 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. To return, it's McKinnon. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it. Oh, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Chris Wormley. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Mahomes firing complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And the Steelers are going to have it here just past the 25. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. We're back now in KC. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Escapes the defender, evades the tackler, and now some space. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there.
And the thing that stood out to me was his ability to continue through the initial contact. How many times do we see runners get slowed up and not get what they can on a run because of that first contact? But he kept the compass pointing in the right direction, kept the legs churning, and turned this into a huge play.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They have clinched the AFC West.
And that feels good for them, but they feel like their work is far from done, because as it stands right now, they won't have the first round bye. But a lot of teams will tell you, that's okay with us. We just want to get to the playoffs and wreak havoc from that point on.
2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. He's going to try and go deep again. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the ground, it's Harris. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Derek Nottie makes the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run again with Harris. And he's got some space here. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, 49 yards. And the Steelers are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Alex Highsmith in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll look to throw here. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. Here's the Chiefs punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And take it right on the 30. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Harris starts the drive on the ground. Room to run past midfield. And finally brought down at the 38.
Let's go.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Only able to work it to the 20 after the nice broken tackle. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Boswell for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was the rookie, Najee Harris, who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Tyson Alualu in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack on 1st down, Mahomes. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's taken it around the 40. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start the drive with Harris. Finds a seam inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Now Harris. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.